Wow. Holy crap. So this was Halo Episode 7. I just got finished watching it, so this is my raw reaction. Obviously, we do the full breakdown over on the weekend. Fuck, this was so bad, dude. This was a Quan-heavy episode. She was the main character of this one. Soren had his little B story, and they kind of crossed over at the end. There was no Master Cheeks in this episode, no Halsey, none of that stuff, none of the actual main plot that's going on in the Silver Timeline. So as far as I'm concerned, Mackie and Cheeks are still on the Halo ring fucking. Now, actually, Cheeks is in this episode, but as part of a trip that Quan has. So essentially, this episode follows Quan on her journey to meet the desert people, who we later discover are basically desert Amazons, kind of wannabe Themyscira type thing going on here. And Quan's all pissy because she's just an angry fucking kid that's just constantly yelling. She even yells at these people. There's people, and they got bow and arrows and all stuff like that. Like it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, they give her this drink, so she goes on this weird trip because she must confront her rage, and in her rage, she has to have a fight. This is all in a trip. She has to have a punch-on with Master Cheeks. Obviously, Cheeks beats the shit out of her, and it kind of rinses and repeats, and she just keeps getting her ass whooped. And it's implying that Cheeks would kill her in a fight because, obviously, a Spartan, a UNSC Spartan, would just absolutely crush a teenager's skull in with one hand. Oh, and we get Ref. Remember Ref, the Jackal character, which the Silver Timeline has turned into a black crackhead because of progressiveness? Yeah, that's where we're at with this one. So then there's this weird part that I think I missed something, but I think what they're implying here is that there's a portal on Madrigal, which I'm assuming will lead to a Halo ring, which is guarded by what I think was a monitor. Like 343 Guilty Spark. I think it was an actual monitor that we saw, which... that's some fuckery afoot right there. And then anyway, so Soren's doing his little B storyline where he has to be, the top dog of the Rumble and that type of shit, and he has his own little gang dramas and that type of stuff, which leads him to go back to find Quan because he has to protect her because he made the promise to Cheeks, even though he ends up leaving her again later in the episode. And he instantly knows where to find her. He basically teleports there. He catches up with her damn near instantly to the exact spot where he's going to go. And where is this? The outpost that was attacked during the first episode. So during Quan's trip out, she sees her dad, and her dad's like, go back to where it all started. And she gets there and she finds some documents which she starts to read before she is confronted by Soren and also Fisher. Now, the dude that plays Fisher, I don't mind him. I think he's actually really good at playing a bad guy. And the character of Fisher, like I've said 1,000 times, they could have done a really cool Oni story with him, but no, they didn't do that. So yeah, it all ends up into like they're about to get bum rushed, and Quan has the plan. If we can just blow up the gas, essentially it's blow up the fuel tank and we'll blow up the whole base. But as Quan's walking in there before the attack happens, we see that there's dead Sangheili. So the elites that the Spartans killed in the first episode are still there. And not only are they still there, so are their weapons. Because throughout the fight, Quan picks up a plasma grenade and sticks someone with it. Yeah, Quan just knows how to use a fucking Covenant, an alien species grenade. They're just lying on the ground and Quan knows how to use one. She does stick someone with it later on. And then on top of that, Master Cheeks, right here, his AR, this very one that's in the picture, Cheeks left it there because it has the words 117 on it, and then Quan ends up using it as well. But what's weird is because the plan is to ignite the fuel tank essentially and shoot it and blow it up, and that will kill everyone, and they're going to survive by going into the vault, which we see in that bunker type place that we see in the first episode, because that's going to survive the explosion somehow. But if I remember correctly, didn't the door get ripped open and an elite killed all the humans in there? Well, there's no humans in there in this part anymore. So that means someone would have come past to clean up after the fight, makes sense, and left UNSC weapons there, Dead Sangheili there, and Covenant weapons, all just left on the ground. Right. So as the shootout's going on, Soren cops a bullet in the neck and he's all like, fuck, I'm probably going to die and all that type of moment. But he manages to make it into the bunker, which explodes, killing Fisher and all his men. So that whole storyline's over now. But then he comes out of the bunker and you see he's got a bullet hole in him, but he's totally fine. You know, no big deal. Just got shot in the neck. Was on the brink of death just before, but now he's totally fine. He collects his bounty and goes home, even though he kept saying, like, well, I made a promise to John, and I don't work like that. I gotta protect you. I have to protect you. I made a promise to John. But then he just dips. This episode was terrible. Fucking terrible. Look, this is just my raw thoughts. You know, I'll go through it properly over the weekend, but holy shit. This episode sucked ass.